Hello everyone, welcome to today's story. Tonight, we step into a world where silence hides storms. Tuna stands between gratitude and longing, yet Alex's sister and her former mother-in-law secretly plot to keep her away from him. Why did Alex stay the night at the farm? Will Tuna discover the truth behind Johnny's DNA test? And can love survive when family becomes the greatest enemy? Stay until the end. The final twist will leave you breathless. Don't forget to subscribe and help us reach 1,000 followers. Are you ready to uncover the truth? The farm breathed with a quiet rhythm, a place where silence carried its own music. Tuna stood in the doorway, the baby still asleep in the woven cradle, while the distant rain tapped softly against the tin roof. The scent of damp earth and smoke from the kitchen drifted together, filling the air with a raw but homely warmth. She gathered the morning chores gently, almost ritualistically, feeding the hungry pig, tidying the yard, touching the old wooden posts of the house, as if to reassure herself that she truly belonged here again. There was no noise of city wheels or sharp voices, only the chorus of chickens scratching, the rustle of spinach in the garden. In this place, she felt unburdened, though a faint loneliness lingered like mist over the fields. At Alex's house, she had often felt out of place, as though her every step was a reminder that she carried a past too heavy for another family to bear. Here, by contrast, the silence embraced her. Her thoughts wandered. She remembered Alex's kindness, the way he had repaired the lights, the quiet care in his voice. But she pressed those memories down like seeds she refused to water. She told herself she had come only to work, to repay debts, to raise her child in peace. Yet, in the quiet spaces of her heart, she sensed that her journey here would not remain simple. The land seemed to whisper of choices yet to come, of storms that did not always arrive with rain. The afternoon light softened as footsteps approached the farm gate. Tuna wiped her hands on her apron, surprised to see Alex's sister standing there, her expression composed yet searching. The woman's voice was polite, even warm, but beneath it lay currents Tuna could not name. They sat together in the modest room, steam rising from cups of tea that neither touched. At first, the conversation circled harmlessly, about the baby, about the farm, about the long days of rain. But then the sister's words shifted, landing like stones on still water. She asked about Alex, about his visits, her tone framed with curiosity but sharpened by something colder. She suggested, almost casually, that Alex's kindness should not be misunderstood. "You have a child," she said gently, "and Alex has his own life. It's good you are grateful, but don't let gratitude become confusion." Tuna's heart trembled. She wanted to answer firmly, yet her voice faltered. She insisted Alex helped only out of pity, but the sister's gaze lingered, weaving doubt deeper into her thoughts. When the woman finally rose to leave, her smile was thin, leaving behind an air of unfinished judgment. Alone again, Tuna felt a weight pressing against her chest. The fields outside glowed with evening light, yet she could not shake the shadow of that visit. She told herself to stay strong, to work hard, to be worthy. But the words echoed hollow. Somewhere beneath, a question remained. Why did Alex's sister need to remind her of where she did or did not belong? Night fell with a heavy quiet, but beyond the hush of the farm another story was unfolding. In a dimly lit parlor, Alex's sister sat with a woman whose presence carried the weight of Tuna's past, her former mother-in-law. Their voices, low but certain, braided into a pact. The sister spoke of duty, of family honor, of how Alex's future could not be tied to a woman already marked by hardship. The mother-in-law, lips thin with resentment, agreed without hesitation. Their alliance was not forged in affection, but in shared resolve. Tuna must never be allowed to reach Alex's side. They sketched their plan in fragments, disguised as concern. The sister would sow doubt in Alex, whispering that Tuna sought only shelter, that her gratitude masked ambition. The mother-in-law would stir old rumors, ensuring Tuna remained burdened by her past. Their words coiled like smoke, unseen but suffocating. Back at the farm, unaware of the shadow cast against her, Tuna rocked her baby to sleep. The storm outside thickened, rain streaking down glass like unspoken warnings. She thought only of tomorrow's chores, of keeping her child fed, of repaying debts through labor. The innocence of her hope stood in stark contrast to the quiet plotting unfolding elsewhere. In the silence, the two women clasped hands, sealing their unspoken vow. For them, it was a simple truth. Alex's path must be cleared of Tuna. But truth, like soil after rain, can shift beneath one's feet, revealing roots no hand can fully sever. The rain did not relent, drumming against tin roofs and soaking the dirt roads that led to Alex's workshops. Inside, he stood with his arms crossed, eyes scanning idle machines that seemed to breathe with silence rather than power. Stacks of unfinished wood lined the walls, each plank a reminder of orders delayed, promises unsettled. His men had asked for leave, the roads were washed out, and suppliers could not deliver. The weight of responsibility pressed down on him like the gray sky above. He reached for his phone, calling technicians to service the machines before the weather broke. He arranged surveys with Trung, discussing distant hills where raw wood might still be found. Every detail, every delay carved deeper into his expression. Yet amid the urgency, his thoughts flickered elsewhere, to the farm, to the quiet figure of Tuna tending her garden with weary hands. He wondered if she had eaten, if the baby slept peacefully, if she felt alone in the rain. The clash within him was silent but sharp. Duty to his business, which demanded every moment, and an unspoken pull toward the fragile calm he found near Tuna. He had no words for it yet, only the sense that her presence steadied something within him that even the most well-oiled machine could not. As thunder rolled in the distance, Alex tightened his grip on the phone. He could repair machines, negotiate contracts, manage storms. But the quiet storm in his heart, he realized, might be the hardest to control. The cafe was quiet, its windows fogged by rain. Alex arrived with his coat damp, finding Johnny already seated, his posture tense, eyes shadowed by worry. A brief greeting passed between them before silence settled, heavy with anticipation. Then Johnny slid an envelope across the table. its edges softened by too much handling. Inside lay the truth. Another DNA test, confirming what Alex had already known. Tuna and Johnny were not bound by blood. Alex studied the paper without surprise, yet the words still felt like stones falling into deep water. Johnny's voice broke the silence. He confessed his hope, his need to believe Tuna was his sister, a piece of family lost then found. But truth, Johnny murmured, does not bend for longing. His hands shook slightly as he spoke, but his gaze was steady. Alex leaned back, torn between empathy and caution. He understood the weight of what Johnny carried, but also the fragility of Tuna, who had just begun to rebuild her life. "She cannot know now," Alex said, his tone low, resolute. "She is still healing. To tell her this truth now would be to wound her twice." Johnny nodded, though reluctance lingered. They agreed to wait, to guard the secret until the right time, though both men knew such a moment might never come. Rain tapped against the glass, steady and cold, as if marking their pact. Neither could predict how silence might fracture later, but for now, they chose protection over revelation. When Alex stepped through the farmhouse door, the sound of rain followed him in. The room was dim, the baby's soft breathing the only rhythm. Tuna lay pale upon the bed, her forehead damp with fever, her eyes heavy yet restless. She tried to rise when she saw him, whispering that she was fine, but her voice cracked under the weight of her weakness. Alex moved quickly, steadier than his own heart, helping her sit, pressing cool water to her skin, finding the medicine tucked away in a corner. He held the child when her arms trembled, rocking the little body gently, whispering reassurances meant as much for himself as for the infant. Outside, the storm raged harder, thunder rolling across the fields. Alex glanced at the window, realizing he could not leave, not tonight. To go would mean abandoning her to fever, abandoning the fragile life she guarded. Tuna, half asleep, murmured apologies for troubling him, but Alex only shook his head, his hand brushing strands of damp hair from her face. "Rest," he said softly, though his chest was heavy with things left unsaid. The baby stirred, then settled again, the room filled with the fragile silence of night, broken only by the rain's endless chorus. Alex sat at her side, watching the slow rise and fall of her breath. Duty to business could wait. Here, another kind of duty bound him more tightly. A responsibility born not from obligation, but from the quiet pull of his heart. Morning crept slowly, carrying the scent of wet soil and wood smoke. The fever had eased. Tuna's breathing was calmer, though fatigue still wrapped around her like a heavy shawl. Alex, sleepless through the night, lingered by the window, watching mist lift from the fields. His thoughts wandered not to machines or contracts, but to her fragile resilience, the quiet strength she never claimed yet carried with every gesture. Yet outside this fragile cocoon, forces gathered. Alex's sister, with words sharpened by resolve, spoke again with Tuna's former mother-in-law. Their whispers were meant to cut, to twist perception, to keep two hearts from meeting. They dressed their conspiracy as duty, protecting Alex's future, preserving family honor, while in truth it was fear, control, and pride. Back at the farm, Alex bent to check on the baby, who stirred awake with soft cries. Tuna's eyes opened, meeting his with a flicker of surprise at his presence still there. Silence filled the space between them, charged not with absence but with questions neither dared voice. He offered her water, his hand steady though his chest was not. For a fleeting moment both felt that strange equilibrium, the choice between gratitude and longing, between peace and risk. Life, Alex thought, was not unlike the rain, relentless, cleansing, and sometimes cruel. He knew storms would not wait for him to decide. Yet, in that quiet morning, with Tuna's eyes reflecting both fear and hope, he felt the weight of an unfinished path, one where truth and deceit would collide, and where silence itself might demand the loudest answer.
Tuna trở về trang trại cùng con nhỏ tìm kiếm sự bình yên. Sau những ngày sống nhờ Alex tại đây, cô gặp lại chị gái Alex, người đến dò xét mối quan hệ mập mờ giữa em trai mình và Tuna. Bên ngoài ôn hòa nhưng ẩn sâu bên là sự nghi kỵ. Đằng sau đó, chị gái Alex âm thầm liên kết với mẹ chồng của Tuna lập âm mưu ngăn cản cô đến gần Alex. Trong khi ấy, Alex phải đối mặt với khó khăn trong công việc vì mưa bão, nhưng vẫn day dứt và lo lắng cho Tuna. Một buổi tối mưa lớn, anh phát hiện cô ngã bệnh, quyết định chăm sóc. Cùng Johnny tiết lộ kết quả ADN rằng anh và Tuna không chung huyết thống. Liệu bí mật này có âm mưu khi được phơi bày?